Hi, my name is Blair Glenn, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, this channel is for those of you who would like to better understand trees. I started working in trees in 1973, and 45 years later, I'm putting a lot of effort into this YouTube educational channel. That's 2 of my 7 children from 35 years ago, JC and Kaylin. Kaylin now works with me. That stump photo might look crazy, but it was just the stump cut.
Liquid amber. This tree was topped the last time somebody trimmed it. It just went right across here. They just flat topped the tree. So what I'm going to do today is, he wants to keep the tree somewhat contained, but I advised him against retopping the tree because that's basically just starting over. So what happens is, whenever you top a tree, you've got this big cut, and then you get multiples come off of each of the big stubs, the big harsh cuts, and you end up with way too much foliage up on the top of the tree. You end up with a real bushy, real heavy tree. So I'm going to go up there with the bucket, and I'm going to try and take out wherever there was a cut made. I'm going to try and take out the biggest and the heaviest of each of the areas, which in itself will reduce the tree. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to drop crotch it. So where there's 2 or 3 of them in here, I'm going to take out the biggest, and what's left I'm going to bring it in. So the tree will be reduced, but minimally, and I will greatly reduce the volume of interior congestion. So.
There is an incorrect assumption in tree work that if you take off a lot, you're getting your money's worth. Or if you take off a lot, then you won't need to do any more tree work for a long time. In this video, I want to show you clearly what the consequences are when harsh tree work is done. The top cuts lead to decay. The topping cuts are where the new growth occurs. The topped tree puts on a lot of weight that is being supported by a rotten spot. The rotten spot generally gets worse. You do the math. I would not recommend the type of pruning that I am doing here today unless someone else screwed up the tree in the past. So let me show you what we're doing here, or why I'm doing it. The tree was topped in the past, and it's putting on double or triple the weight on each one of these branches. Just look at that decay area. That tells you a lot. So what I'm trying to do is take out the heaviest of the new growth in each area and thin out and lighten up what's left, as well as bring down the leverage on these weakened areas. You can see here that this whole section is rotted all the way down, and the decay is extending further down from where I put my finger. So here's a spot where there are 2 branches where there should be 1. There's another spot, 2 branches where there should be 1. That one only has 1 big branch, but it's growing off of a really rotted area, so I've got to make a decision there. A lot of times you've got to cut it all the way back and hope that it just throws out some new sprouts. A lot of people will see a tree like this and say, just cut it down and start over. Well, they don't want to do that. They like the shade, and so it's my job to keep it as safe as possible. Now, when you have an area that is clearly rotted, you've got no options. You've got to take that rot spot all the way down to reasonably sound wood. I can't do it here, otherwise I'll be taking it all the way down. There wouldn't be anything left. So the client has to be aware of the circumstances that they're dealing with and the future of what's going on. Here, I want to point out a double area and explain what I'm doing here. You have 2 branches that are side by side. One is larger, one is smaller. One of those has got to go. Now I'm choosing the larger of the 2 and leaving the inside one, because if I did it the other way around, the outside one would continue to grow bigger faster and be a problem. here I kind of screwed up. I put the camera back in my pocket and didn't realize it was still going. It shows you I do the chainsaw work up there. I don't do a lot of chainsaw work with a camera running. So there was a second tree, a Chinese pistache, and while I was there I got up and cleaned out all the stubs and shaped it all the way around. It was actually a fair amount of work, but I think you're going to be surprised when you see what the finished product looks like. You're going to say, well, it doesn't look like you did very much. There it is. It's all done. Both trees, they're all done. Now, as soon as these trees leaf out, and bear in mind we left lots of buds, as soon as they leaf out, the trees are going to look very, very normal and natural. They're not going to have a harshness to them as a topped tree would. And they're reasonably safe. Once you get enough weight out of each section, and recommend maintaining it, I'd say every 2 to 3 years these trees are going to have this same thing done to them again. Unfortunately, these are not virgin trees. I love this before and after shot here because it clearly shows you what it looked like before and what it looks like afterwards. I wish I had a shot of it in leaf. Hey, if you like my videos, do me a favor and subscribe. Also, hit the like button. Hey, thanks for watching.